Okay, how many of the people here, with your hands up, feel like you're really living right now? Because really living, a little bit harder than it sounds. That means being present. That means not projecting yourself back into your past, worrying about mistakes you made, wondering what you did, because when you're doing that, you're not living here now. You're projected back into a past, usually rife with judgment, self-criticism, self-doubt, mistakes you've made. And you may actually be putting upon yourself your own form of retribution for all of these things that you think that you did wrong by looking in the past. Or instead of living right now, you might be projecting into the future. Well, when I get that new job, when I get that new body, when I have that six-pack, then I'll be really living. But now, no, I'm not going to worry about it. Now I'm going to go focus on this goal, and then you'll be looking toward the future. So you're either in the rearview mirror in judgment or in the future in hope and aspiration. But are you really living now? Because I haven't always been. And when people ask me like, hey, what would you tell your younger self? Live more, smile more, know that it's going to be okay. You know, there's a quote, it's one of my favorite quotes. It's from the Sufi poet, Hafez. And the Sufi poet Hafez says, wherever you are right now, wherever you are right now, God circled that place for you on a map. In hindsight, we might be able to see that because every challenge that we've faced, everything that we've gone through has made us who we are right now. So perhaps it was all happening perfectly the whole time. But when it was happening, were we living presently? Were we enjoying ourselves? Probably not. We were probably worried about the future self that we are right now, or judging the past self that we were some time ago, which really isn't representative of the self that we are now. Because we didn't trust that wherever we were, whatever we were going through, was exactly what we were supposed to be going through. Was exactly the thing that would allow us to be the hero that could overcome that thing, that could be the person here, now. But we probably didn't trust that. When I look at my life, I see so much of it that I just let the magic slip away. You know, there's a quote from the movie Troy, which I really liked, and it was where Achilles is talking to his girlfriend, I forget her name, but he goes, let me tell you a secret.
The gods envy us. They envy us because we're mortal, because any moment might be our last. Everything's more beautiful because we're doomed.
Because our mortality gives us a time limit. And without a time limit, when we think that everything is going to go on forever and ever and ever, it's way harder to appreciate it. And it's one of the reasons why one of the great Stoic quotes, you know, why Ryan Holiday sells little coins that say memento mori. Remember your death. Let death be an ally. Know that no matter what, we're all dying here. But that's fucking beautiful. Because this body, this experience, this identity that we have is gonna go, so let's fucking live. Let's live, let's enjoy it. Let's not worry about extending it forever. Because the present moment expands. It's so big, it's so rich. It's like infinity and timelessness, and you're experiencing it. Like that is longevity.
That's how you really open a fucking champagne.
That is the way to expand your life. Don't worry about counting the years of kind of half-ass living. Like live. Enjoy this stuff. Like when you get that cup of Khmer coffee out there, when you get that thing, like marvel at the fact that you've got a mouth that can taste coffee and a body that can react to the caffeine and all of the different alkaloids in that coffee and how it's going to make you feel. and let a smile creep on your face, like, damn, that's cool. Because hypothesize that moment, in my own personal beliefs, there is an essence of us, a part of our consciousness that will leave this body and be gone. But you know what? Without this body, we don't get to drink coffee. No matter what imagination we have for our spirit or our consciousness transcending this body, ain't no coffee. I'm not going to be able to taste food. I'm not going to be able to go out on a day like today where everybody's like, oh my God, it's raining. What if we just went out there and felt the rain? Rain on my skin. Because one day we aren't going to have rain and we aren't going to have skin. Maybe we'll come back and we'll try again in a new body and a new life and forget all over again and have to learn this lesson one more time. Or maybe we can learn it now and enjoy it now. But the foundation for all of this enjoyment starts here. In the body. Like, that's why to take care of the body, not to live longer so you can get stuck in your own mental prisons, get stuck in some version of Gehenna suffering. It's so that we can get this strong, so we can see what the potential of this thing is, so that we can surf if we want to surf, we can scuba dive if we want to scuba dive, we can skydive if we want to skydive, we can really have sex, we can work out, we can feel our body alive. Like, if we think about ourselves and we think about our relationship with our body, like, we need to go to counseling. Our relationship with our bodies is terrible for the most part, because it's a one-sided criticism. Because we're always like, fucking body, sick again, you bitch. There you are, fatty. You know, like, we're just constantly talking shit. Imagine if that was like a real relationship. We'd be the worst. We would be the worst. So how many times do we actually like pour love into our body and thank our body and give it actual nourishment? Hardly ever. We just take it for granted and then talk shit when it doesn't do what we want. Like, for sure, we should work on that. We should work to improve that. Talk a lot about self-love. Self-love is one of these things that we talk about, and it's something that's difficult to practice. And there's a quote from Jesus, and Jesus says, "That which you do to the least of us, you do to me." So basically, that which you do to the least of us, you do to all of us. That which you do to the least of anybody, you do to yourself. Recognizing that we're all sharing this part of the divine. So I was meditating on that, and I was like, that's interesting. Well, how does that apply to self-love? And I was like, oh, well, that which you do to the least of yourself, you do to all of yourself. So any part of yourself that you don't love becomes the ceiling on how much you love yourself. So if that's the truth, and it seemed to me to be pretty reasonable, then there's so many parts of ourselves that we're so busy judging, we're so busy saying is less than because we're comparing with something else or comparing with some ideal in our mind, that becomes the ceiling on how much we're able to love ourselves. So then I was like, all right, we'll start with the most insignificant thing then. Maybe when I'm putting lotion on my crusty heels or my feet, maybe I love that part, an insignificant part. Maybe as I'm doing that, putting balm on my hands, putting balm on my lips, maybe I love that part and start thanking that part. Maybe I start thanking all the parts and appreciating and loving even the most insignificant parts of myself. You know, Don Miguel Ruiz has this great concept where he talks about us being the ruler, the emperor, the king of trillions of subjects. And these trillions of subjects are all of our cells. We're the ruler of these trillions of subjects. And again, it goes back to that relationship. What kind of ruler are we? Are we the ruler that appreciates all of our subjects working hard, conspiring to give us this body? Or are we the despot, the tyrant that just feeds it a bunch of crap says, here, you get the slop. I expect you to perform. Pay the taxes and energy. Pay everything to me, but I'm not going to give you anything you want. I won't give you breath. I won't give you good food. I won't give you sunlight. I won't give you water. I will give you booze, but that's what you get. That's a tyrant. What about if we change that relationship with our body? Start being a good ruler. Start being a good leader. And really create that foundation by which we can start living presently and in the magic of the moment. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it.